think everything in Britain was built solidly and really well. The wings are sort of milled out of solid blocks. Totally British engineering at its best. There's not a nut and bolt on it anywhere that belongs to another country. It's nice to think that Britain was Britain and we were able to do things by ourselves, for ourselves.
As the Cold War continued, the ever-present threat of nuclear attack from the Russians made Britain a fearful place.
We will assume that the attack is in daylight and the weather is fine. These people are all killed.
The RAF needed something to counter the Russian bomber threat. English Electric built it. It was called the Lightning. Essentially 2 engines strapped to a seat, its stacked turbojets pioneered high thrust-to-weight ratios in the early 60s. With the flick of a switch, the Lightning could rocket to 45,000 feet in under a minute to intercept the trespassing communist threat.
Towards you, Tony.
Right, got it. I was able to afford this because it went at scrap price. I mean, it was a lump of scrap, really. I says, right, well, you're not chopping this up. We're going to keep it and we'll make it back how she was and to the glory that she used to be.
Tony Holes rescued his £1 million Lightning for the price of a second-hand family car.
We had to really start from scratch and do all the proper servicing before we could even think about starting the engines. The nitrogen systems primed. The main thing is that we saved another Lightning. Underneath is a favourite spot for the starlings, and during the springtime we had an occasion where there was a full nest of babies, and each time we went out on a run the old girl followed us, and when we came back they'd got their heads out of the orifice underneath there, the tailplane actuator, and you could see them feeding. Really, I'm just a custodian, just somebody who just keeps the thing moving and keep all the parts working and make sure that it don't go festered up and, you know, and fall to bits. And all the hydraulic systems, make sure they're all full up.
Ironically, the Lightning's complex electrical system, an asset in its heyday, now bars it from flying in Britain. Tony does, however, get his mates round to take it for a spin, but these days the mission is only to the end of the runway.
I think in the long run there'll always be some museum somewhere that'll want it because of its British heritage. It's like the biggest thing that Britain ever did in those days. Hopefully one day somebody will come along and get it flying. That's what it needs, is to be flown.